Your garment is ready, Miss Kamisato. I've folded and packaged it for you. Oh, and the other item we discussed? That's ready too.
Thank you very much.
No, thank you. It is a beautiful piece of clothing, and it was a pleasure to work on. See you again next time.
Traveler, I have a gift for you.
Whoa, looks super fancy. Is that for wearing in your hair?
It's a hairpin in the style of a white heron. As well as a hair accessory, you can also use it as an ornament. I couldn't ask for your help and offer nothing at all in return. So this is my gift to you. I'm glad you like it.
Speaking of white herons, that's what your title means, doesn't it? Shirasagi Himegimi. So this gift is like a little piece of yourself. It's just as elegant and beautiful as you are.
You flatter me, Paimon. If this gift reminds you of me, that is all I could ask for.
It definitely will. Alright, well, now we've got what we came for. We can set off. Time to go meet Tsubaki. So, a transcendent being lives here? Ugh. If someone lives here, then why is it so chilly?
I'm asking myself the same question. How strange. I'm quite sure that this is the location my mother wrote about, but surely... I'm starting to have second thoughts, but since we're here, I still think we should go inside and explore in full.
Yeah, makes sense. Who knows? Maybe there's a surprise waiting in there for us. So, what does the notebook say exactly?
Let me think. A crane brings one fresh flower in its beak to decorate my hair, while a white rabbit sews a hemline from 4 rays of moonlight. Dressed appropriately, I face eastward and call out Tsubaki's name 7 times. In the blink of an eye, I'm standing on the path that leads to her house.
Sounds like a fairy tale. So your mom would do a little ritual, and just like that, Tsubaki would come to meet her?
I have a feeling that it could be some sort of code. Let's get a little closer before coming to any conclusions.
Good idea. Let's read. Let's recap what the notebook says. Maybe it'll give us a hint. Did it open? Did it open? Did our Inazuma Adeptus leave any treasure here?
What's this?
Huh. Looks like a book.
It seems to be another notebook. Could it be Tsubaki's notebook? Let's step back outside now. The atmosphere here is different than I'd imagined. Somehow, it makes me a little reluctant to open the notebook.
Paimon knows what you mean. Reading in low light is really bad for your eyes.
Here will do just fine.
Alright, let's see what the notebook says. Ooh, Paimon bets it's all about mysterious treasure. What is it? Why are you whispering all of a sudden? You're making Paimon nervous. Oh, you want to let Ayaka read the notebook without distraction. Seems whatever's written in there must be pretty major after all. But, based on her expression, probably not a treasure map. What could it be?
Traveler, Paimon, sorry to keep you waiting so long.
No worries. It wasn't long at all. You're a very fast reader.
Yes, I have. I think I ought to share the truth of this notebook with you both. Even though the contents are completely different than what I was expecting.
Different how? You mean it wasn't a Fox Envoy who wrote this?
Not a Fox Envoy, no. It turns out that Tsubaki's real identity is my mother herself.
Huh?
Surprised? Me too. But that's what it says at the very beginning of the notebook. Tsubaki and I are the same person, and yet we are different. When I become Tsubaki, I stop being Kamisato Kayo and become the most ordinary woman in the world. What follows in these pages is the ordinary, everyday life of a regular person. Nothing more, nothing less. This notebook is, for the most part, a collection of my mother's musings, both private and trivial. All of the things we thought were about Tsubaki were in fact about my mother herself.
So that means that the kimono design and the international dishes
Are things that my mother wished to try, yes. I'm sure this all sounds utterly bizarre to you. But to me at least, my mother's behavior is completely understandable. Or to put it another way, I actually have another side to myself as well. I was at a loss for words when I started reading the contents of the notebook. It almost felt like someone had looked inside my mind, examined my thoughts.
Ayaka.
From the moment my mother married my father, she became the mother of the Kamisato household. And with that came all sorts of duties. At the same time, the prestige of the Yashiro Commission brought its own share of responsibility. On top of that, every action she ever took was seen as representing the Kamisato clan. After my parents passed away, Ayato and I took over responsibility for the affairs of the clan. We ran into all sorts of difficulties during that time. Every time I found myself up against a difficult issue, I'd ask myself, did my mother go through this too? Maybe it's because it had been so long since I last saw her, but somehow, all that was left of her in my mind was the sight of her that inspired awe and commanded respect. But my image of her was incorrect. When I read this notebook, I realized she was just like me. She liked pretty kimonos. She wanted to try food from different places. She yearned to see sights she'd never seen before. Maybe this all sounds immature to you, but I feel just the same way. Mother wrote that she'd always wanted to go to a local Inazuman festival. She said that sometimes, on a clear night, if you looked out from our house, you could see lights off in the distance.